Good evening, everyone. I am the wildest monk, and I would like to point out one thing before I start off. I have been speaking all through quali, only to realize that I was on mute, and it was a big noob mistake. Still rusty, still getting back to terms with comms. But first and foremost, wishing everyone a very happy new year. Wishing everyone a wonderful, successful 26 for the future. Shout out to Mir Racing, who's decided that they're gonna hand over a one-of-a-kind, unique sim racing rig to the winner of this entire league. This is gonna be a one-of-a-kind league with some interesting track combos, interesting car combos. It's gonna really test, and we can see out here that the top 13 are split by just about just a little over a second. And it's only Vidveer who unfortunately probably didn't really have the best lap. But as we are here with the guys and we wait for the race to kickstart, we just had quali that was streaming. Apologies once again for me speaking with the mic being on mute. But quickly to take you all through the grid, we've got Abdus in P1, Vijit in P2, Ench in P3, Pleb in P4, Kadeka in P5, Vishal in P6, Hershey's in P7, Navi in P8, MJK, Distortion, Saurav, Askas, Vidveer completing grid. Not sure, but I think even Mako's taking part. But the interesting bit is that as we are just about to get started with this epic race, T1, what are your predictions? What's going to happen? I have a feeling that it's going to be carnage. These boys are fast. Abdus will be under tremendous pressure. But we know that he's not someone who's going to bail. So I'm still going to try and keep my marker as we wait for the grid to start. But I think, yes, and we are just about to go live. And we are live. Oh, there's a bit of a wheel spin there for Abdus, but he's pretty much kept it clean as we've got the guys behind. What's happening here? There's argy-bargy action all over. Let me just quickly ensure we've got race info. And thinking about diving down the inside, there's action of all sorts taking place. But so far, it's been clean all throughout. T1 has been good. Ench maintaining P3, Pleb on P4. Hershey's has moved up a couple of places to move up to P5. Vishal holding on to P6. Kadeka has dropped, so he's not really had a great start. And Navi holding on to P8, Distortion moves up to P9, still sort of action going on all over. MJK is dropped right back at the grid, but let's look at his three ways in the corner as they hold on to that. So the grid should start evening out real soon, but yeah, wow, that was a lot of action at the top. He immediately deciding to bolt ahead. You do not want to let go of Abdus, so let's just keep an eye out. I think DC has sorted. The Pleb will try to catch them up. Hershey's and Vishal, good friends, love battling it out with each other, so they're going to have their own sort of action. Kadeka giving a bit of a gap on Enavri. There's a bit of a train that's falling. Sort of as he goes a little wide there, so he's just going to lose a couple of positions, and he does. Then MJK follows suit, not yet. But wow, that was some start there. So that was interesting. I wish I could show you all replays, but unfortunately GD7 for some reason has disabled replays, as Abdus has already built a bit of a gap here on Vijit. So let's just stick around. And what a move there by Vishal. What a brilliant move there by Vishal. That was smooth, and some action at the back as well. Distortion picking up, and Navi trying to defend for that position there, as Mako's also out there. So from 14, Mako's gained 4 places, and Distortions all over the back of Enavri. So action all around, and it's going to be a little tricky to keep track. But if you guys find anything, just stay with Mr. Distortion. He goes down the inside, Enavri going, opening the doors, and completely compromising his exit there. So as we stay with Distortion, he moves up, and Hershey is now under attack from Kadeka as well. Wow, so a lot of shuffling of positions taking place here. This track, as I mentioned, skills will just not be enough. This is such a technical track. It's a track where it's so fluid. You need momentum. You just cannot just think, yeah, like I'm just gonna maintain it. One mistake is all it takes to lose. As we see over here, I think there was Askas there. One mistake is all it takes for you to just lose ground, and that's all it will take for you to just completely screw up the race. As we see some more action, what's happening here? Kadeka finally making a move on Hershey's. Hershey's, who had jumped up to P5, has dropped down to P7 there. And what's happening here? We've got some more action behind Sorrow, with Wheels gaining that one position on Askas. MJK is right at the back though, so that's a bit of a surprise. It's happening up front. Top 3. Oh, and there you go. Pleb at the back of Ench. Ench will not be happy. Ench will not be liking that. You do not want that man chasing you, because this man, he's freshly married. His energies will be high. His mood will be higher. So with all that boost that he has at this point, I'm just kidding. Pleb is just a monster on track. He's always been a monster. Pleb knows how to go about ensuring that you just sort of keep it clean. So you got a nice long 40-minute race. Anything can happen. So let's just move on to a different camera here, as Vishal now slowly trying to gain, but not really gaining as such. But he's building a bit of a gap on Kadeka as well. Kadeka is under attack from Hershey, so Hershey's trying to stay with Kadeka, but you know Kadeka is really fast, and you don't want to let go of Kadeka over here. As we move back, what's happening? Makov's moved up another place and he jumped up to P9. Navi unfortunately has picked up a penalty, so he's down to P10. I wish I could show all the real-time data loggers so to really get an idea of what kind of inputs these guys use and different racing lines these guys use. And JK right at the back is a bit of a shocker. I think just like I'm rusty with comms, MJK is probably rusty. Oh, what's happened here? Oh my god, oh, Pleb's just been absolutely knocked here with MJK there. So definitely some incident that's taken place, and I just wish I could show you all the replays, but I don't think we'll be able to catch that. But oh, we can, there you go. Okay, so we do have replays. I'm so sorry. We're gonna keep this marker right here, and let's stick around to see what happens here, as we do get some insights. Abdus is really trying to maintain and hold on, and Vijit will not. Ench will be breathing easy here. Kadeka has moved up to P4, so that's interesting. Let's see what's happened here. Do we have any insight? Not really. Interesting there, guys. So with replays back in action, as Navi picks up another penalty here, so Navi is still trying to find his footing, but he's going to lose a lot of ground, and just like that, Makov and SRC, both of them gaining many more positions, and Navi's got a tough job in front of him, but the toughest job is there for this guy here, who totally experienced the commentator's curse there. And I would like to personally apologize to Pleb there, but it is what it is. And just like that, Vijit making a move on Abdus. So let's see if our replay cameras have caught that. And let's see, we are here with Vijit, and Abdus is holding on to him, but clearly you can see that slipstream effect coming into play. So where is it that Vijit's really making a move, because he's putting all the pressure there on Abdus, and Abdus doing everything he can to make sure that he does not let Vijit go through. But you can see Vijit making his car as wide as possible, maximizing entry and exit. Abdus doing everything he can to defend. Now, has Abdus made a mistake here that's led to no, I don't think so. So it's probably just a case of Vijit just attacking, because you can see out here almost half a lap and Vijit just maintained this thing. But I think we need to keep an eye out on other things. So yeah, unfortunately, while we couldn't capture that, let's give a new marker. Let's make sure Vishal there has moved up to P4. Hideka is up to P5. Shout out to Distortion who's moved up to P6, so that's really good. We got Hershey's in P7 and SRC in P8, so good for him. Nakov dropped the position to P9. Navi's P10, Askas in P11, Vidvi's up to P12, MJK is in P13, and Pleb slowly but surely making ground is down in P14. So the grid's just sort of stabilizing a little. I'm going to take a bit of a breather here because wow, these guys are absolutely at it. Ench somehow has managed to stick it out with these guys, so that's good for him. But slowly, Abdus and Vijit slowly are trickling away from the grid and moving slightly ahead. So Abdus we know is fierce. Abdus we know hates losing. For him, P2 is equivalent to losing. So he's going to do everything in his power. But Vijit is also consistent with his racing lines, with his pace. And you can see that with his laps. Look at those 32s, 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 32s. Within a couple of tenths, that is amazing consistency. Abdul's trying to maintain that, but somehow I think with the amount of pressure he's trying to put, struggling, and you can see with that inches gaining and losing and gaining and losing. Now, do we see any more action? I don't think so. I think the grid is just sort of stabilizing a little. Alright, we've got some action here between Askas and Inavri. So Askas making the move on Inavri, and Inavri not making it easy. It will be just sort of clicking in larger. So let's quickly have a look at what's happening over here. So here we have Askas right on the inside of Inavri, and just on the straight as we can see it. Making an easy move, Navi not making it too difficult, and just like that, Askas secures P10 there. JK and Pleb slowly getting there. Let's stick around with the leaders here. Abdus yet again all over the back of Vijit, so Abdus is absolutely having a great race, and he will not make it easy for Vijit for sure. I'm just gonna hide. We do not want to show tire wear and fuel wear, and do not want to reveal those strategies in any way whatsoever. So we have them actually doing up over here. Really, but we've got a train here between the guys from 7th to 9th. So that's Makov, SRC, and Hershey's just trying to be there with the pack. Askas has made his move, and now Inavri coming under pressure from Vidvir. So will Vidvir be able to make a move on Inavri at this point? Let's just stick around. I'm not so sure because Inavri has sort of got his racing line in place, but nevertheless, the man who is being kind is by providing the winner with an amazing rig. And look at that, we've got Pleb here who's made a move on MJK just like that. So MJK just keeping it easy. Apologies for my dog barking there. Small community growing, commentating from our houses. So yeah, let's see if our DK cams caught that action between Pleb and MJK. Yes, they have. MJK just about to get under pressure, and Pleb immediately going for that move. Two legends of SNI battling it out with each other, not in the positions that we're familiar with seeing them on the grid, but it is what it is. This is how evolution takes place within the community. So Pleb moving past MJK there, and we have Vijit still under pressure from Abdus here. So, and Edge within the grasp of Abdus and Vijit. So yes, so far so good for these guys, but Let's see if we've got some action brewing up. Distortion under a bit of pressure there by Saurav, and Hershey's is following suit as well. Are we going to see any action here? I don't really think so. So, looking at that, I think so far it looks like Hershey's thinking about a move. No, he's not so close. But SRC going that slight bit wide and inviting Hershey's all the more to put in more pressure. So, Hershey's will want to be there with him. You can see these cars, like, switching is one thing. You've got to be so consistent. No, and just as I see that, SRC having a bit of a moment setting the rhythm of Hershey's as well, but Hershey's doing well to make sure that he's not losing his ground. So while we are here, I can see that Hershey's is close enough to make a move unless he goes up something radical. But SRC is slightly more closer to distortion. But let's jump onto our leaders here for the time being. As with every lap passing by, you can see the fronts are absolutely dying. Let's quickly look at the conditions here. So, yes, tires don't look good. Pretty much the same for our guys in top 3. Vishal, again, I think it's pretty much the same for everyone within the top 5, top 6, top 7. Barely a whiskers difference between these guys. So, yes, she's slightly more better as compared to the others, but yeah, I think that is what it is. So yes, I think we've got this going on now. This combo, when we look at it, you've got these amazing Civics. These are not your regular Civics. These are one-of-a-kind garage RCR Civics that were featured at the SEMA show, and we can see that these builds are absolutely beautiful. And just like that, Abdul's thinking about making the move. Now will Abdul think about dying on the inside? He thought about it, but thought the better of it, knowing that if he made a move at that point, it would probably be fatal and would have costed both him and Vijit. And Vijit also not making it easy, defending with the right lines there and ensuring that he shut the door on Abdul properly. So no time for anyone to relax, no time for anyone to chill out here. You have to make sure that you immediately go for the attack, and there's just no breather now. Just like that, I think what is also happening is every time Abdul is thinking of making a move, it's upsetting his rhythm and is immediately putting him into the clutches of Ench. But we've got some action going up here. As what are we looking at? Are we looking at any form of action? Look at that. Hershey's has moved back. Askas and Inavri, what's happened here? Has Hershey's picked up a penalty? Oh, and Askas has gone wide. So let's have a look at what really happened here sometime back. We had Askas in P10 and Hershey's in P9. So Hershey's had a decent gap there. So did Hershey's make a mistake somewhere? Or was it just yet another commentator's curse? It seems like he did. Going a little wide into the entry of that particular corner, inviting Askas and thereby Askas thought about the move. Did he make the move? Oh, that is a risky move right there. That is a really risky move, and he did make the move, but you know Hershey never gives up. Hershey likes to put down a fight, and just like that, that is what invited an Avery. But Askas again falling prey to that beautiful switchback there by Hershey's, and Askas again, you know, does not give up. So two really stars battling it out here, two mighty fast guys, and that was the action that we saw. So that is what was going on over here. Now, and just like that, we missed out, but Abdus has made a move on Vijit. So we need to see what's really happened now. We can see Abdus here in T2. What's happening here, right? So let's see. Just like that, Abdus now thinks about making a move, but again decides not to go for it. So keeping it clean. Look at that Senna-esque thoughtful inputs that he's putting out here. Absolutely beautiful. So what's happened over here? Has Vijit made a mistake, or stick around to see if the previous lap there. Yeah, the previous lap. So nevertheless, unfortunately folks, apologies for that, but it seems like the tires are now coming into their death, so the guys will want to make sure that they pit soon. Just like that, Red Bull moved up to P12, so hasn't been easy to track the action there, but yeah, Abdus has made significant ground. Will Abdus enter the pits? Not yet. We'll see a couple of more laps before the guys decide to pit. So we're going to keep our retail markers active. But yes, I was mentioning some time back that Abdus, he is a champ. I mean, he's definitely already a star, and definitely someone who's going to be an even more bigger star of SNI. I mean, I have no doubt that he's going to make the country proud. I have no doubt he's going to be representing the country in so many international competitions. He's going to be featured on a lot of streams. And for someone who just a few months ago was, within the BRBs and the BRCs, to now see him battling amongst the fastest guys is something. Widget likewise, it seems like Widget is struggling because Ench is all over Widget, but let that not take away from the fact that how fast Widget really is, how clean Widget really is. And you can see, I think he's made a mistake because lap 11 clearly he's lost a solid 1.3 seconds, and then gained another half a second. So he's struggling on those tires, and like I mentioned earlier, that this track is relentless. One mistake and you can lose all the ground, so you don't want to make those mistakes out here. Now Kudeka is slowly catching up to Makov, and again great jump by Makov there, who had started at P14 is now up to P5, so significant progress. And we've had some incident here. We've had another incident. Askas has had a bit of a moment here. So what's happened here? Askas was in 11th, and has he had a bit of a moment? Has there been an accident? He's just gone wide there. Oh my god, that was unfortunate. That was absolutely unfortunate, just missing his breaking point. And as I say, everyone is entering the pits. Now, what are the strategies that these guys are going to apply? It somehow shows that. That's because the guys are going to exit, so let's not be fooled by that. What's happened here? We've had a shift in lead already, and has Abdul's gone for more fuel? It seems like Abdul's gone for that slight bit more fuel than Widget here, and he's already under attack from Inch. So top 3, what's up really looking at? We've got Vishal, who's jumped on the P4. Makov is suddenly under attack, and now he's made a big jump to P5. That is surprising and really good for him. Wow, that happened out of nowhere. Makov is up to P6, Hoshi's in P7, Kudeka is in P8, Distortion moved down to P9, so somehow Pleb and MJK are back in the hunt as well, and the likes of SRC and Gidvi, especially Askas, they've turned out to be the bigger losers here. And this will be interesting because you do not want these guys to be within touching distance, because they can really make all the difference required to ensure that they can a really good result. So yeah, solid amount of action here, guys. Got Ench here battling it out with Abdus. Will Ench now think about attacking Abdus? Ench knows how fast Abdus really is, and he knows that overtaking Abdus is one thing, but then maintaining and defending is a whole different ball game. Abdus, we know, he knows his game so much more better. His racing ethics are so much more stronger. And just like that, I see going a little wide. Now, is this meaning? Is there a bit of a punt there? Or I'm not really sure, but let's just keep our eyes on these two at this point. Now, will Ench think about making a move? He is right at the back. Now, is Ench giving him a bit of a bump there? I'm not entirely sure, but it does seem like Ench is giving him the bump. Interesting strategy there. I thought Ench would have made the move, but sort of losing that ground. There's an Ench gain here. Not really, but yeah, we can see that Ench had a chance, but Ench sort of let go of that. So surprising, we'll find out later in terms of why Ench probably pulled that off. But Navri here once again is in the hunt, and Vishal will probably be happy with the fact that the guys at the back are battling. And we got Makov here now chasing Navri. So seems like the grid is yet again it's been shuffled, but again positions have been sort of moved up and down a little, but the grid again spreading out a little. So we got Abdus now creating that bit of a gap between himself and Ench, and what's happening here? Are we seeing action? Yes, we are. We've got Makov now attacking Navri, and just like that, Makov will go down the inside. Yes, he does. And making it easy, not making it too difficult, and Navri letting Makov through. So yet another beautiful overtake. You know, Makov is one of those really, really fast guys himself. So clearly, Makov showing what he's capable of, and now will be on the hunt to catch Vishal. So Navri will have to do everything he can to ensure that Hershey's doesn't pass him. So while we see that Mr. Distortion, is he really being captured by Pleb? Is Pleb reeling him in? Not really, doesn't seem like so. Pleb with the unfortunate incident losing out, but look at that. Widgets got a good gap on Abdus here, who's created a decent gap himself on Ench. So the top three remaining the way it was, just that Abdus and Widgets shuffling positions. Vishal having a lonely race in P4. So, and I'm sure Makov will be like, hey buddy, we've been great friends. You know, I wouldn't want you to be alone there. I'm going to give you all the company that I can to make sure that you're having a really wonderful race. So, as we see that, we do see how she's now slowly dealing in Navri. So, I think we're going to stay with these guys. As the guys at the back also seem like there's a bit of a battle brewing up between them. So, let's see. But Askas and Bidhi battling it out. Now, Askas has just not had a good race at all. So, he will be really disappointed. And seems like Bidhi is letting through, yeah. So, seems like they had a bit of a moment, and just like that, Bidhi being the kind gentleman that he is, letting him through. Now, Distortion's got on to Kudeka. So has Kudeka had a bit of a movement? It does seem like, because in that previous lap you can see out here Distortion was almost 8/10 faster than Kudeka. So Kudeka's got a bit of a task on him as Navri picks up that's Hershey's with a penalty. So Hershey serving the penalty brings in Kudeka and Distortion with them. Pleb not really gaining the kind of ground that we would have hoped for. Now, what does Kudeka do? This is a good opportunity that's opened up for Kudeka, and we have gone above well over the 2/3 mark. So it's the final, I would say, leg of the race. So Now is the time for the guys to attack, and what it's going to do now is really test the aspect of consistency more than anything, because it's very easy to put in that one fast lap, but it's really challenging to put in consistent fast laps. So as you see out here, yet again distortions all over the back of Kadeka. So Kadeka clearly not happy with how the car is riding. So let's just be here with Kadeka and see what kind of pressure is distortion putting on him. And Kadeka goes wide. Oh, just like that. Distortion makes a move, but Kadeka trying that switchback, and distortion will not make it easy for him. Distortion will make sure that, and Kadeka gives a bit of a bump. Distortion trying to keep it clean, but I think he's just breaking a little early. And look at who was following behind. There's Ancient Pleb right there with Kadeka as well. So you do not want to see the Ancient Pleb in your mirrors. And we've got three-way action between three fierce drivers, drivers who won't leave an inch to take any action. So we're going to be here with Pleb just to sort of give you guys an insight on how Pleb makes his moves. His tires and fuel seem to be in great shape. Now will Pleb think about making a move on the inside? Not really. But look at that, Kadeka going a little bit wide, getting a bit of a bump there. But Kadeka doing just about enough, and so does Distortion. And Kadeka is really struggling to hold on to that racing line. So he is inviting, and you can see up front also Hershey's is all over the back of an Avery. Kadeka really struggling. Now cones flying as well. So the guys doing everything they can, and Kadeka clearly feeling the heat there between the fact that it's just his exhaust and the engine, roaring engine of Ancient Pleb. That you can see Pleb all over the back of Kadeka, and Kadeka doing just about enough. But Pleb, look at that, he is attacking in every way possible to make sure that he catches into Kadeka. As you can see out here, right from bumper cam, what it's like. Hershey has lost a little bit of ground, and Distortion just about moving away. Kadeka doing just about enough to ensure that but look at that, Pleb. Now let's just stay here. Kadeka holding onto the inside line, giving Pleb that nudge. Pleb from the outside, will he be able to make that move? I'm not sure. Kadeka doing the smarter thing by holding onto that inside line, and that was amazing racing. But look at that, Pleb is not giving up. This is risky business, but these guys keep it clean, and kudos to that. Now will Pleb still be on the outside? All of this is going to be hurting his tires much more than he would like, but all of this gives Distortion a little bit of a breather. But look at that, Pleb knows he is faster, and Kadeka knows he's struggling, but Kadeka is doing a beautiful job there of ensuring that he holds on to them. But as I say that, look at what's happened over here. We got Abdus, he's back in the action, and we got Abdus and Vijay battling it out, and Abdus clearly being the faster of the two. So are we looking at some sort of action out here? It seems like we're going to keep our replay markers intact, because it seems like we're going to be catching on to some really strong action, and Abdus doing his bit in putting heavy pressure. But look at that, Vijay knows what he has to do. Vijay knows how he has to defend, and he's using the racing line beautifully to ensure that Abdus doesn't go through. Now let's catch on to these guys once again. See some action up front. I am not sure, but it does look like these guys are really out there battling it out, but still Vijay doing his bits. So I'm going to keep shuffling between Pleb and Kadeka, because this could be the moment where Pleb might just make that move, might lunge down the inside. He's not close enough to lunge, and Kadeka going really wide there. Oh, and just as I say that, it felt like this would have been the move, and so it happens. This is what the Ancient Pleb is all about. This is the pressure that Ancient Pleb puts on you. Now, Ancient Pleb, once he's past you, it's going to be difficult to pass him back. But Kadeka, we know, is a man of class. Kadeka is really struggling there. Oh, he is not liking this drive at all. So let's just jump back with the guys up front, because we've got just about 7 minutes of racing left, which would be about 4 laps, 5 laps tops. And Vijay doing everything he can in his power to not let Abdus through. And you can see Abdus doing everything, looking for the tiniest of gaps. Even a millimeter would be enough for him to ensure that he makes a pass on Vijay. But these guys are putting in a phenomenal drive out here, and some excellent racing being shown by these guys on how it's done. Vijay again making his car as wide, being as defensive, knowing that there is any opportunity that Abdus would sniff, Abdus would make sure that he makes that move. And we will look at it from Vijay's perspective. You can see Abdus. Now you start seeing Abdus. Look at that, Abdus so aggressive with those turns. Hamilton-esque, I must say. That is scary. That is scary right there. To see someone like an Abdus charging from behind, knowing that the overtake is just around the corner. It requires immense concentration. You can see Abdus is gaining, but which is doing just about enough to ensure that the car is on track. You can see how close Abdus really is. Abdus is managing this beautifully, and this is amazing action and amazing racing being shown by these guys. And Vijay is doing a fabulous job here of ensuring that Abdus has no room. So we know for a fact that Abdus will not make it easy. Now, am I seeing any action blew up between Makov and Vishal? Still a little further, but Hershey's now, while Vijay just built that gap, Hershey's has now made a brilliant move on Avery, and that was simply sensational. We have to catch that as a replay again, because that was simply phenomenal. So Avery making a little mistake, and Hershey's just needs one sniff and he's good, and you can see that he sniffed that opportunity and made the most of it, and Avery was just a sitting duck. And just like that, Hershey's climbing back up to P6. Simply phenomenal there. So we got action brewing up, and look at that, we got there's been a mistake here. Oh, what's happened here? Abdus diving down the inside. Oh, and just like that, he's nudged Vijay there. So now, has he been the kind gentleman and let Vijay through, or what's happened out here? This is interesting, because we'll have to see what's happened over here. That's surprising, because and yes, Abdus being the kind gentleman, letting Vijay through, and in the bargain also letting Ench through as well. So kudos to him. But Ench will be like, hey bros, I'll totally take that. Peace be among the brothers, but we're racers right now, and yeah, you know what, I think I should make the most of it. So Ench now in the hunt for a potential surprising win, because at one point it seemed like Ench was out of the competition between these guys when he had the chance to make that move on Abdus. But we still have about 3 laps of action. Anything can happen. Now Ench is going to be sandwiched between both these guys, because you've got a mighty fast Vijay who's got a chance of a lifetime here to lead and possibly win, and you've got the likes of Abdus, as we were seeing, who puts in so much pressure that it can really mess around with your concentration and force you into making mistakes. So we've got the top 3 battling it out. Now we've got Pleb here, who's moved up to P9, and he was in P9, and Distortion, who looked like he had cleared them, is now under immense pressure himself. So will Pleb be able to make a move? Let's see. But we've got action brewing up over here, so we're just going to keep shuffling between both these guys, because it seems like Pleb does think about making a move, and Pleb does go down the inside. Distortion just can't do anything. Pleb again with a stellar recovery drive. Not the grip position that you'd likely see him in. And just like that, Inch under immense pressure from Abdus as well. So it seemed like Abdus had that move covered, but just like that, Abdus putting all the pressure. So we're just gonna see in like a couple of corners time in terms of what really happened out here, because it seemed like these guys were keeping it clean, but I think maybe Ench made that one little mistake and just invited Abdus to just be all over his back there, and you can see out here that just in a moment's time, I think Ench just going a slight bit wide, as I mentioned earlier. He goes slightly wide, and that's all it takes. So Ench definitely under immense pressure, because Abdus will be absolutely relentless. Now, Ancient Pleb is on a charge himself, and he is gaining on an average. Ow! And just as I say that, Ancient Pleb goes wide and might just lose another position to Distortion. Ench and Abdus going as wide, making the most of the track. I think after this we will pretty much be, while we are in the penultimate lap, I think we will end up seeing the final lap as Widget crosses the start-finish straight. So Widget needs to keep it clean. Ench has to also do the same, and it's not going to be easy. Abdus, we will see Abdus in absolute panther mode right now, and you're going to see an attack unlike anything from Abdus. I can just completely sense it, as long as the tires support and Abdus doesn't make a mistake. So we're going to keep our replays active here, and let's see if we're going to see Abdus make a move, and he's just about doing enough to ensure that Abdus doesn't get even Whisker's room to go down the inside, as Abdus just about going slightly off track, giving a little bit of breather to Ench there. All of this will help Widget, but it does seem like Widget's not really being able to pull away from Ench, because clearly the tires are absolutely short for everyone, and you can see Widget in fact losing rather than gaining, and this little bit of a slip should help Ench as well, as he's made a decent amount of ground. Now, will Abdus be able to pull out anything out here? Well, Abdus is gaining, and corner to corner we can see that there's just that little shift in those few tenths that these guys are exchanging among each other. But just quickly, I would like to highlight one thing. I did see some action brewing up over here, as you got Pleb also all over the back of Inavri. Now he will want to make that pass soon, but we will soon, while I think that Inavri doing just about enough to ensure that Pleb thinking about the switchback, and Inavri just not giving him room. And we've got Widget, who's won the first race of this showdown, this epic showdown. Ench in P2, and Abdus doing the right thing, finishing in P3. Makov, stellar ground into P4. Vishal just about making it on to P5. You know, she's in P6. Pleb moves on to P7, and in average just at the last second running out of fuel in P8. Kadeka finishes in P9. Distortion's run out of fuel as well in P10, and so as MJK. The man, the cruiser, will be finishing in P11. Hisarsi and Askas also in P12, P13 respectively, and the Green in P14. So all the guys just saving those little bit of fuel for the FI committee of SNI to ensure that there is no tampering with the fuel that's taking place. So excellent racing here. This was simply epic. The action was just non-stop and relentless. This was mega fun to watch, and thank you so much guys for supporting. That was epic. So I'm just gonna quickly take you all through the results, we have Vijit in P1, Ench in P2, Abdus in P3, Makov in P4, Vishal in P5, Hershey's in P6, Pleb with a recovery drive in P7, Inavri in P8, with Abdus getting the fastest lap and Makov gaining 10 positions. Sorry, so that was amazing. You know, Kadeka in P9, Distortion in P10, Njek in P11, SRC in P12, Askas in P13, and Vidveer completing the grid. So this was simply epic, and I just want to thank each and every one of you all for tuning in and watching this race. This was fun, and stay tuned. Our next race is going to be on Saturday at 10:15. So good night, guys. Have a wonderful week and the weekend ahead, and see you guys soon.